Yo, what is up everybody? ZanZEpicKidd here. Today, we're not gonna go over a game. Well, I'm not gonna play a game, but I'm just going to go over this speed paint of when I made the title screen. Fun fact! I actually made this on the exact day that we had to get everything done before the deadline of the extension for this game jam. This was made for Blue Lobster and Miss Airtaku's game jam, which was Unlikely Heroes. And it was in... Announcements started in December 2021, and then it ended recently at February 2022. So, the team I was in, we were gonna do a game called Ghosts in My School. So it's about the Southeast Asians, at least 3 of the new ones. They are gonna go on a ghost hunting investigation thing at a school. And, well, as you can see, the first person I'm drawing is Indonesia. And Indonesia, considering how he does not like the dark, because he's hates ghosts and stuff like that, he's gonna have quite a time in the school. So yeah, right over here, I actually using the original file for his bust set, because I also made the busts for the game, as a reference for this title screen version. And yeah, I started off with a sketch, a rough sketch, and I am cleaning it up with some sweet line art. And yeah, I kind of find this to be one of the more tedious parts. Well, it's actually not that bad. It's not my least favorite part, but it does take quite a while. And what I'm doing is making some lines seem thicker than others so that it doesn't seem too different from the sketch that I make. So that there's like quite a bit of, I don't know, sort of volume to some of the lines here, so that it prioritizes which area is thicker. Anyways, this was the first time I was actually really drawing a more muscular type of person, so I had to look up references on how to draw muscles and such for his busts, which is why I saved his bust set for last. And I'm trying a new technique here, which was select all the areas that required one color and then painting it over, putting a giant square over it with that specific base shade. And it actually ends up backfiring here with the hair. As you're gonna see, yeah, it ends up going underneath the line art, so I had to really paint over that. So I was like, yep, nope, never again. Just gonna do it the normal way. Anyways. Oh wow, I should really... Yay! Okay. Yeah, this is the part that I like the least whenever I'm making a character in digital art. Like, you give in the base colors, and to make sure that there's no piece of the background sticking out from them, I have to make sure that it's all blended into with the line art, and it's all covered. Anyways, after bases are done, then that means I could go ham on the shading. And I decided to give him a wristband here because, well, I thought his hand looked weird otherwise, his wrist. Yeah, shading's my favorite part of the digital painting process. And I think I received some criticism a little while ago, a critique about how the shadows should be more pronounced on the face, because I tend to do more shadows on the body, but then when it's the face it looks kind of flat. So yeah, I'm adding more shadow to like the face to make it look more three-dimensional recently. And yeah, that's his hair. His ever so complicated hair. His hair is what I have the most trouble with out of the 3 characters in this game. But at least I got it done. I don't know why I paused it there for. So yeah, this was all happening in the early morning of the day that the jam game was due. So if you see in the other 2 characters later on, it's gonna be, I'm gonna end up having to rush the painting and line work. This is actually my first time I made busts for a jam game. And oh boy, that was fun. At least I got more experience under my belt there. Anyways, some art course playing right now, which is one of my favorite genres. Okay. And now I'm doing a dodge overlay with a mask, so that only certain parts of his face is like brighter. And then I'm putting a multiply layer to show that it's nighttime for him. 2 multiply layers, one of them is 40%, another one is 10%. And his flashlight is getting lit. It's lit. Woo! And I'm done with Indonesia. So now, I think I took like about a few hour break to work on the game coding. But now I'm back here working on Singapore. And yeah, I actually had to, for those hands, I had to take a picture of myself doing the same exact pose of the hands, so that it looked like it makes sense. Because hands are my least favorite part, as for many artists. Anyways, yeah. Same as Indonesia, I'm using a reference from his original bust set. I've always imagined him with a sort of a baby face, considering he's the youngest out of his Southeast Asia circle so far. And I've always had this imagination of a few note papers floating near him, flying near him, to show that he's really taking those notes. He's got a project to get done and he needs to get to business. And his hair, actually I liked his hair the most because it's not as weird or spiky. But his tie, man. Why does he have to have the checkered tie? Okay. Singapore is actually the first bust set I made, and it took quite a while, like much longer than the other 2, because I didn't think to do shortcuts such as copy paste for the shading, the face and such. And when I started working on the other 2, it made the process faster to just copy and paste, because I was drawing different poses for the busts. Okay. And now we're doing the base color section, my favorite section, with a fill color. And I decided to put in a dark blue background because, boy, his freaking white shirt is kind of hard to see in the transparent background. Yeah, that's a sweet palette feature that Medibang has. And I think I I've been using this program for about several years. It's just so long. Oh yeah, when making the busts, one thing I did was I took different pictures of each character's faces and put them in a chart of like what sort of emotion they're giving with said expression, so that when I'm drawing the actual busts, I know like how a certain character would react in visually. Like for example, Malaysia's scared face is different than, it's slightly similar but different than Singapore's scared face, like spooked face. Singapore's spooked face, I made him like he was just being very stiff as a board and trying to smile-ish, I don't know, like trying to look calm and composed, but you can see that he's starting to crack. And then Malaysia is like, he's really hard trying to smile and to look cheerful enough, but then he doesn't want to bring the vibes down, but he's still very much scared. You can see. And I actually based that expression off of a really interesting expression of his back in the comics. Anyways, yay, finally, checkered tie is good. And I'm shading, woo, that's cool. So when it comes to doing line art, I usually start with the pen brush. And then when I'm coloring, I do the watercolor brush. Because watercolor, I feel, is very good when it comes to blending colors. And oh my gosh, thank goodness that Protect Alpha is a thing. Otherwise, like, I'd have to go back to the old days when I did black line art and then colored over it with line art of darker colors of the characters, and then that was just so long and tedious that I was like, nah, I'm just doing black line art, I don't care anymore. But now I can go back to doing colored line art. Whee! And now I'm adding a dodge layer over here of the lighting of the moonlight on his hair. That would be a good thing. And also I added a little glowy airbrush to his nose. And now I'm moving on to Malaysia. Woo! Oh, Malaysia. I think Miss Ertaku noted how expressive he was with his arms. And yeah, I purposely did that and I was actually doing the exact arm motions myself to see like a sort of reference for it. Because I imagined that he'd be the most extreme with his reactions, considering how he acts in the comics. Because he has the biggest mood swings of all. And whenever he gets a new emotion, it's just so extreme compared to the other two, so made sure to really get a use of that. And what he's holding over there is a keris. Keris is a type of dagger in Southeast Asian countries, most notably Indonesia and Malaysia. There might be some in the Philippines too, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's not just like a weapon, it was also a sort of sacred object that you needed a priest to sort of bless it after it was made. And yeah, there's just a very long and very a very thoughtful process into making a keris. so it's not like really something that you could just get on the cheap back then. So yeah, that was fun. I got to learn about that kind of stuff during the jam. I was reading up on it while in the not so busy hours of work. Anyways, I gave him like tiger teeth, and his eyes, I actually took inspiration from actual tiger eyes when coming up with his eye shape. And okay, his casual clothes design is actually not canon. I didn't take it from a canon picture from the comics or art books or such. I looked up Malaysia and casual clothes, and then the green Letterman jacket with a lighter green shirt came up, and I was like, that looked good on him, because I feel like green's a good color for Malaysia, the character. And yeah, I did have to change his arm pose during sketching to make it make sense. And thank goodness for his hair. Thank goodness for his symmetrical looking hair. Unlike Indonesia, whose hair is asymmetrical and sticks out all over the place. Yay, base colors. Okay. And the design of his dagger is actually, it's got a single barong carving, which is like a lion type carving. I thought it'd be fitting considering he's visiting Singapore. I feel like he might have a dagger with a lion on it, especially after Singapore was created. And yay, I'm getting in the base colors. I feel like, okay, this point was like closer to the afternoon, and I still had quite a bunch more art to get done, namely the Sophie CGs and the banana tree CGs. But I knew I wasn't going to be able to put in the full kind of effort into those CGs, so I wanted at least an awesome looking title screen. And I guess it seems by people's reactions I delivered, so that's good. Oh my gosh. We're almost done! Woo! So yeah, this title screen is awesome. I haven't made a cool looking title screen for a headed game in a while, so this was fun. And yeah, I'm glad I got to work on this project. It was very fun. I got to learn a lot more stuff. And I got to work with one of my friends to make a nearly complete game. And now I'm pretty, I guess the fact that I managed to work with someone else and complete a game with her really upped my confidence on being able to get some of my own personal projects done for Hetalia fan games. Yeah, just the big point of anxiety when it comes to these projects was like getting I want to get stuff done fast as possible in case the people who I want to enjoy the games with, they end up losing interest in Hetalia in general, which is a worry, but you know, what can you do? You know, shit happens, and I guess the people who are truly passionate, there will at least be someone who enjoys their game. I mean, Hetalia's been running for like, what, 8 years? 8 to 9 years? That is an amazing life of a fandom. And yeah, that was the speed paint. also, yep, did some dodge effects with the fluffy watercolor or splatter brush, just to give that cool sort of lighting-ish effect on the characters. Alright, and yep, I'm just about nearly done, and we're gonna show the final product soon. And here is the title screen of Ghosts in My School. Yeah, it's gonna be, the full release will come someday, hopefully. We're still working on it because there's a bunch of bugs and overhauls that we have to do. Anyways, thank you everyone, and I'll see you next time.